Good morning. It is a beautiful day, and I'd like to welcome my new viewers. I am so honored to have you here with me today. I basically call myself a storyteller. I talk about my life, and other times I talk about other things that people find interesting for me to talk about. I am a wellness advocate for doTERRA essential oils. That's how I make my living. And I'm also a home economist, so I have a little bit of expertise in many things. And I enjoy sharing it. Now, today, I want to talk about the call of the wild. And it does get a little dark, but I'll end it on a happy note. You know, the mountains are calling me, and I must go. The last frontier is the mountains on the man's dreams, for the beauty. I don't think I said that right, but my heart is there, because sometimes we want to go off to the mountains to find peace and tranquility in our lives. And sometimes it's just in our backyard. Sometimes you don't have to go far at all. And I got to keep this thing going. So sometimes we're so full of emotions. We're not able to cope. We're feeling trapped. We can't get out of the situation we're in. The number one problem is family. So many families are dysfunctional, and they're toxic. And sometimes we have to break away from them. And you feel so powerless, and you can't really find anybody you can talk to. So you just fall into this despair. I know. I keep breaking up. My brain keeps going places it's not supposed to. So why do we want to run away? We want to run away to take away the toxicity from our environment. We want to be able to cope. And sometimes just running away makes a bigger problem. Some people, they run away and they disappear forever. Not they got lost or died or anything like that. They just wanted so much to get away from their environment, from the ones they truly love, but they're not able to cope with it. Sometimes life just feels like it's over and there's nowhere you can go. So running away is a yearning to escape, to get away from the environment. You're in such an unpleasant situation. But running versus suicide, neither one is the best alternative. You're going to walk off, you're going to leave your family, you're going to leave everything you knew behind. Is there another way that you can fix it? And then sometimes, you do just need to move on from that situation. It's running away is something that's hard to judge, but suicide is never the answer. I've had all my life the feelings of running away. I would get so trapped that I really had to run. Sometimes there was no place to run except get under a table and protect myself from the world. They'd always find me. But just the pressure that you feel just coming down on you so hard. And I wasn't able to leave my family behind. I wasn't even able to do anything. And I would run and I would hide just to put me in this close, caring place in me. And sometimes the feeling of suicide would be so strong, that I never went there. And I never went there for two reasons. Number one, I never wanted to hurt my children by leaving them behind. Maybe three reasons. Number three, I was afraid to die. And I forgot what the other reason was. But suicide's not the answer. But I do have an experience of attempted suicide in my life. And maybe that's that third reason I was looking for. Now, I have run away. I'll get in my car and I'll drive for days. I'll even move away. And it removes me from the toxicity that is challenging me. But I never stay gone. I never disappear forever, because I have that connection to my family. I don't have the connection I really and truly should have, but I always have the need to return. But sometimes the need to run is strong, and it overs the power to end my life too, because I'll get in my car and I'll get to the mountains and I refill myself with joy, and I sit and I think about what was this that was going on. How do I need to change it? Where do I need to go from here? So I remember my mother, my father, and my stepfather. Never one time did I hear them have a disagreement. Never. I never did. I don't ever remember them fighting. But I do remember my daddy would get so mad at my mama, and he'd say, "I'm moving to Alaska to get away from her." And my mother in turn would say, "I'm moving to Alaska to get away from him." Alaska, to get away from him. If they both moved, they'd been neighbors. What can I say? But I remember when I was living on Kenilworth with my mother and my stepfather. Life was so good, so good. You couldn't imagine how good it was. From where I had been to where I had came, life was perfect. And then I do believe what I'm going to talk about next is the beginning of the end of the joy in my life. Starting a new journey in my life. I can't remember my age. I'm not good at that. But I do remember it was a horrifying experience. I don't know if it was my stepfather or my mother, but one of them had an axe, and they were locked out of the bedroom door, and they were hitting that axe on the door, and they were breaking that door down. And I remember the horror that I was feeling that day, because I had been from violence, and now I was back into violence. And the fear was, what's going to happen when that door opens with that axe? Is his anger or her anger going to be so grand that they're going to use the axe on the other person? I mean, that was a fear that's still in my heart. I don't know what happened. Nobody got hurt, just the door. It was just that vision of them beating the door with the axe. What happened after that, my mind just cut it off. Maybe something bad happened. I don't know. I can't remember. But then I don't know if it was in the same time frame or later down in the months following, or maybe it was before. I don't think it was before. I think it was after the acts. That it's early morning, and I get up. I'm going to the kitchen. The kitchen is totally destroyed. There's flour everywhere. The pots, the pans, the dishes were over the floor. The dishes were broken. And so I'm looking at this mess. What's going on? And then my vision turns to my mother. She's laying on a chair on the oven door with her head in the oven. It's a gas oven, not electric. Gas. Again, I have brain freeze. I don't remember what happened after the vision of seeing her head in the oven. But I knew that it was not a good thing. And I had the concept of what she was going to do or what she was trying to do. And I know that she went away for a long time. I also know that she had cancer removed from her breast. She got a big old scar on her breast. Maybe she had the fear of dying and didn't want to suffer any pain. Or maybe her marriage was coming to an end. I don't know what happened. But I do know that sometimes when you can't get to the mountains, maybe you should bring the mountains to you. I'm from Texas, and so we have cedar. So if I really need to breathe the air of outdoor, I can always diffuse it with my cedar wood. That takes me places I've never been before, that I have been, actually. The hill country of Texas, Austin, Texas. Just walking in those beautiful hills and walking along the rivers. Austin and the hill country are so beautiful. If you haven't been there, maybe you should take a visit, or maybe turn on the video and just smell the cedar wood from your essential oil. You'll find a link below. So when I smell the cedar wood, it kind of lifts my heart, and it gets us kind of away from this bad talk that I did. But you know, that's a bad memory that was in my life, and maybe that's where my running away came from. But even when I have the deep despair that life should not go on, I accept it, I overcome it, and maybe I'll get in my car and drive away, but I always return. You know, I have not been in a situation where my environment was so toxic that I actually had to disappear. Now, I've left many people along the way, but I've never left family along the way. If they want me, they can reach out to me because I'm here and I am available. But I don't know. Sometimes we just have to move on in life. So anyway, so let's put a little joy into this video. Okay. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. Sam left Seattle in the year of 91. It's George Pat, his partner, and his brother Billy too. They crossed the Yukon River and found the Bonanza Gold below that old white mountain just a little southeast of Nome. Crossed the majestic mountains to the valleys far below. Below to his came a huskies as he mushed them through the snow. Jordan lights are running wild in the land of the midnight sun. Yes, Sam McCord was a mighty man in the year of 1901. Where the river is winding, big nuggets they're finding. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. George turned to Sam with his gold in his hand. Said, Sam, you're looking at a lonely, lonely man. I'd trade all the gold that's buried in this land for one small band of gold to place on sweet little Jenny's hand. 'Cause a man needs a woman to love him all the time. 'Member, Sam, a true love is so hard to find. I built for my Jenny a honeymoon home below that old white mountain just a little southeast of Nome. Where the river is winding, big nuggets they're finding. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. No. Please don't go to Alaska. So, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed making this video for you. And so, I wrote down my last words somewhere. I always make notes and I always mess up. And we know I can't sing, but I know somebody likes me singing. So, your life is very important, okay? You are a very important person. And it doesn't matter even if, okay, I got to read this because I'm trying to paraphrase and I'm getting confused because I don't like reading. Your life is important, and it does matter, even if it may not feel that way right now. And that is so true. The nice thing about life, it always changes. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Go fishing.